the Niners brought back Robert Saleh, best defensive coordinator candidate on the market. It's the only guy they were interested in. They got him. How do you think he's going to improve the situation this year?
Oh, okay. First of all, I love the hire. I flat out love the hire. He is such an upgrade of what they had the last 2 seasons. He is a flat out brilliant defensive coordinator. Iggy, the miserable Jets had a good defense.
They did every year.
Yeah. I mean, the guy is really, he's like Andy Reid on defense.
He's very, very good. He's smart. He can adjust mid-game. He can game plan well. He's very good.
And he has what Kyle, from my point of view, apparently lacks. He has passion. He has passion, and it's palpable.
A ton of passion, yes.
Yeah, and here's what I would say. I'm in my old age. I think about these things. Do you have passion for life? I don't as much as I used to, and I regret it. I wish I could still feel the things I felt at 30. I look at Saleh and I feel this is a man who lives his life with passion, with taking risks, with joy. And it's something that I look at him almost like a character in fiction. And I say, I like to spend time reading about this or experiencing this. And I think the 49ers need that.
His brother works on Wall Street. He could have worked on Wall Street and went into like an entry-level job. I can only imagine his parents probably, if they were immigrants, probably put a lot of pressure on him to do something safe and sensible. And he's smart enough to do that and make a lot of money. And he was like, no, I want to be a football coach. And he started off at like small schools in Michigan and worked his way up. So you got to respect someone who manifested all of this success and wealth and happiness in his life.
Yeah. So are there any downsides? One, I don't think they have good defensive players. I mean, their defensive line, Iggy, is really not very good at either stopping the run or rushing the quarterback. He's going to need a little help there. And I hope he's good at spotting talent in the draft, and if he is, that they let him do it. So that's a possibility. I mean, and they're going to lose some good defensive backs. So and we don't know about Dre Greenlaw. So it's not like he's taken over the defense of the Philadelphia Eagles. He's taken over a bit of a downtrodden defense, Iggy. They were not very good last season.
Yeah, this isn't the group that he had a lot of success with 4 years ago.
No, so that's not his fault, but it may be wishful thinking to think he can just immediately make him one of the best in the league. I have no idea. And the other is, Iggy, he's ambitious. Mm-hmm. If he does do well this season, it's possible that he's only here one season because teams might be looking at him again. Having said that, both are worth the risk because maybe he's not Steve Spagnuolo, but he may be the next best thing. Or Vic. Vic is great.
But he's in that class.
He's in that class.
Yeah, he really is. What's so interesting about this, though, is like this is by far the best thing the Niners have done this offseason. Bringing back Saleh as a home run hire. Still, we've been sort of challenging them for a while to change something, evolve. And this is bringing back the old guy who's great. But still, like you got to change something at some point because you don't have the winning formula. And just bringing back old friends and saying, we got the gang back together, watch out. Like, yeah, you guys lost to the Chiefs together as well. You lost by 10. So great. Love to have Robert Saleh back, but Jake Booty's still here. Deebo Samuel's still here. Kyle Juszczyk's still here. I'd love to know what wrinkle, schematically or in terms of personnel or something, this team will have this year to make it different than all other teams they've had that have come up short.
Okay. I want to just talk about Saleh for a minute. He's not going to make it different, but he's going to make it better.
Way better. Way better.
I'll accept that.
Yeah, so hell yeah.
I'll accept that. I think you called it home run hire. It's a grand slam hire, Iggy.
Yeah, it is.
So I'll accept that.
And Listen, they had to sweat it out to get him. They weren't talking to anyone else.
Right.
Yeah.
Although
Yeah.
I heard they were talking about Pete Carroll.
Well, Pete talking
So
about Pete Carroll. We were talking about Pete Carroll one time. What a discussion that was. I wonder if Pete knows we were talking about him.
Pete, Marin Pete.
Marin
I was going
Pete.
to say something about Saleh, but now I'm an old man. I forgot what I was going to
I'm
say.
sorry, I talked over you.
If this were TV, it would be really embarrassing. Say, you're an anchor. Say, I forgot what I was going to say. But here it's okay.
That happened to me at the end of season press conference a few weeks ago with
I
John
saw
and
that.
Kyle.
Yeah.
I kept trying
Yeah.
to get my question in, and I kept getting cut off. And so I finally got in, and then I was like, "Oh, I forgot what I was going to ask." That was embarrassing. So then I came
Yeah.
back, but everyone laughed
It's
at
very
me,
embarrassing.
pointed,
Yeah, you deserved it.
said,
So
"Grant's
we were
stupid."
talking. We were talking about Saleh, and I say, could be there for a year or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I understand. You said something needs to change. I know what I was going to say. Iggy, this is a low blow, and I'm going to preface it by saying, what's happening here?
I don't
This is a
know.
low blow. What needs to change is the head coach. And I don't mean he needs to get fired, but he will. He will be fired after next season. But what I'm saying is he needs to alter. He needs to grow. He needs to really reflect on who he is and what he's done. That's the change that's not happening. Bringing Saleh in is good. What needs to change is Kyle's methodology, his approach, and I don't see that changing.
What if the 49ers defense has a big bounce back season, but the offense is still kind of sputtering and the team still has some questionable drama, and Kyle gets fired? Would Saleh replace him as the head coach?
Possibly. Why
You
not?
didn't think about that. Why not?
No, I didn't. You're a step ahead of me.
See, he could be sliding right in there. Watch out, Kyle.
And yeah. So does Kyle see him as a threat? Because a lot of things go on behind the scenes. We don't know.
You know what I want to know? I got to notice though.
Wait. I want to say something real clear. Saleh is loyal. So Saleh is not the kind of guy who's going to come in and think, I'm going to screw over the head coach. So I want to make that.
That's a Jim Tomsula move.
Apparently.
Allegedly. It's a Jim Tomsula-esque move.
Allegedly.
He's doing great in NFL Europe, though. They love him in Germany, Dad.
You need some bratwurst and stuff.
You think he speaks German?
Probably enough to get around.
You think in Germany there's Hofbräus all over the place?
I wouldn't know. I've never been to Germany.
Good call.
But what I'm saying, of the head coaches you covered, was he the biggest joke or was it Chip Kelly?
He was the biggest joke because he had imposter syndrome. He knew he didn't have any place, any business having that job. Chip Kelly thought he deserved that job. You could tell that Jim Tomsula could tell immediately he was in over his head and he was thanking his players for not, flipping out on him. Hey, good, thanks for playing football today. I really appreciated that. The way you put on pads and did your job. Thank you so much. Because I know it'd be tough to play for me too. I mean, who the hell am I?
He probably had imposter syndrome. I liked him better than Chip Kelly because Chip Kelly was an arrogant loser. Really,
I've never seen a more arrogant coach lose 14 games in a season. He would lost game after game, and he would stand up there like, "What? What are you looking at? What are you?" What? I was like, "What? You're the worst. You're worse than Jim Tomsula. How?" That's my question.
Yeah. And there was a certain sweetness about Jim. There was a certain sweetness about Jim Tomsula and Chip Kelly. He was sort of off-putting.
He was off-putting. He was so bad that year. You wondered, like, are you this bad or are you trying to be this bad? I don't understand.
Really?
Like, are you tanking so that you can get Balky fired and take more power? Because that's not going to work. Or are you just as bad? You might be just as bad.
Oh, Iggy, he was that bad.
He was that bad. He had like 4 plays in his playbook. I remember he would take a lead in the first quarter and then just get destroyed after that weekly. Chip Kelly. Now he's an offensive coordinator at Ohio State. That's about right.